painting. The place is a mess though, but I'm getting there,
Yeah,
dude. I don't
it
know.
looks beautiful, actually. Yeah, I mean that piano was a nightmare to move in. You know, I'm not going to even
well,
talk about the fire hazard of the fireplace. I mean,
well,
that's just. I mean,
well.
come on.
I can understand now why you had to fake call in sick to help me move because now you know all the stuff that I
I was
have.
dying of the Necronomicon flu. I don't know if you've heard about that. I had that COVID Necronomicon,
Did you
and
really?
yeah, dude, it put me down, son. It was like a, uh, it was like a wrestling move. It was like the Boston Sleeper, or the I'm telling you, man, it was like,
The crowbar over the neck like that.
oh, these 47-inch pythons, brother. And I was like, oh, NyQuil, save me. NyQuil here.
The
That was the only
chair
thing
was.
that's keeping. I'm telling you right now, Vicks Vapor Rub, NyQuil. Those are the two things that will save your life right
Really?
now. I'm telling you. Anyway, but
Dang. Well, I'm
for real.
glad you're feeling better, dude, because I know it did
Yeah.
knock you out pretty hard.
All right, we're live. Oh,
Get,
you dirty bastard. Oh, I see
yes,
what
we
you
are.
did.
We are live.
Welcome to another episode of the Nissan Nerd Podcast. With me as your host, Miles All, and with me as always, Mike DeLashmutt. So
Hello. That's the cheesiest intro ever, but I'll take it.
yeah, that's
That-
my
that-
old strip club
that's
DJ
your
voice. So
that's your DJ voice. That's right. Yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah, man, I break that out at special occasions.
$2 pints,
Quinceañeras.
everybody, or whatever.
$2 pots. Remember to always tip your waitresses and your bartenders. We're gonna do it for you right here on the top side, gentlemen. Get those dollars out. We've got Destiny coming to the stage. She's still. Oh, come on.
It's Boom Boom Hour. Whatever's it called.
It is the boom boom hour, gentlemen. 2 for 1. Anyway,
Oh man,
oh man,
that will
I had to
never
pay
get
for
old.
college somehow, so that's how it goes.
How to get through
Actually,
college somehow? Yeah, nah. You
I
and
had to pay
them
for stuff.
supposedly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There you go. So yeah, actually, I'll take it back to my roots. All right. So there we go.
Oh yeah.
So all right. So let's go back a little bit. We have some things we got to talk about. We got to launch this episode. Mike,
Yes.
drop it on him. Let's get this episode started.
This episode of the Nissan Nerd Podcast, guys, we're going to talk about an automotive glass technology that could be coming to future Nissan models. We're going to talk about a new joint venture between Nissan and Autech. Miles, you have that article. And lastly, we're going to talk about a recap of ourselves and with Nissan about 2021. Everything that we've done this year as part of our back alley chat coming up on the Nissan Nerd Podcast.
Hi.
Hi. Do you know how hard it is to keep a straight face as I'm talking to see that picture behind you, by the way?
By the way, that is a lovely sweater. Yeah. So, you know, obviously, let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Okay.
We got green screens. We talked about it. We've been hyping. We robbed. We stole. We got some money in the budget, and
Yeah.
guess what? We got the green
Both of us.
screen.
Woo! Yeah, I
That's
hate to break
Mike.
it to you, Miles. This is not my real house.
No, shocker,
Shocker.
shocker.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Check it
Your
out.
nose right there.
I'm gonna
All
do.
right.
I'm gonna go and set up. I'm actually in the Death Star. I'm gonna use this one for
You're
the
gonna use
show.
the Death Star? Oh, okay. All
Nissan
right.
Death Star. That's what I'm gonna call it. I like that.
That's what you're
That
doing?
background.
I mean, I got all kinds of stuff that works. I mean, we got that guy right there. That's also a good one.
Oh, dude.
What? I didn't know you could do the splits. Let me see here.
That
Yeah, I
that
mean,
was in my 20s. That's my.
that was in your 20s. Yeah. But going back to your place, unfortunately, it wasn't your place, but there was a fireplace,
Yes, it
in the
was.
background. And I noticed that it could use a little like wall art, maybe. And I'll get this printed out for you. But I was just throwing it out there.
That's Hey, I'm actually kind of flattered on that one. At least I don't have a gut in that one. All right, I'll take it.
You look pretty good. I'm just saying. But, for all purposes, I'm loving the green screen, by the way. So for those that don't have the option of checking us out online, you are missing out on. I'm going to cover your junk. So there we go.
You're covering.
There we go. It's a
I,
kids show, for Christ's sakes.
there goes our rating. Yeah. I know that I tried to get as much set up with pictures in the background. I obviously didn't have as much time as you this time around, but I do imagine that you and myself, Miles, we're gonna be having fun with these green screens along the way because there's a lot of stuff that we can use to have fun with them. So yeah, it looks like you guys online, by the way, are having fun watching us.
I feel like I'm loving this right now. This is probably my favorite. So this is gonna be a common staple for 2022. This background. Let us know which one is your favorite. So
yeah,
hey,
that one should be your common staple right there. That for those who know.
Those who know. Oh, there we go. Let's
there you go.
That route. Hi.
You and the Tiger King, right there.
And old Joe Exotic.
By the way, I'm not sure if you thought about this, Miles. I think we both got the same model of green screen and stuff.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but when I was unboxing the hardware, it kind of made me feel like I shouldn't try to break this down ever again because it's pretty flimsy. It's like it was all the budget could allow.
Yeah,
it's all the budget could allow, but it works. I'm digging it. So.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. Like yeah. So, but I would say let's continue on with what we've got here for today. You know what? I'm gonna just switch this. This is where I'm gonna stay at right now.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, real quick.
Okay. Oh, you have it.
I got this. There you go. Oh, ladies, there you go. I got 2 Home Depot cards. They're like Home Depot cards. There you go. Take them. All right.
And that, by the way, Miles, that jacket kind of fits in. You're like the shady guy at the strip club with the hat on that's kind of just tucked away in the corner.
Oh, hold on. Oh, I didn't even show you. Oh, watch out, son. Watch out, son.
I work harder than an ugly stripper.
That's what you call a motivator in the business. So, anyway, let's move on. So, we've got a big show that we've got to do here today. So let's go ahead and talk about it. First, let's check in on our folks, see if they've got anything to reply to tonight.
Tons of responses so far, Miles. Yeah, you want to go down? You want to do a rundown? Can you see them, or you want me to do
it? Mike said, "Just pour bleach in my eyes." Well, appreciate that. Bert's saying this is a good cop, bad cop. Yeah. So.
Let me guess.
Says you want this $2. Amon, there's only one way to make that money, baby. Get up there on that pole, earn that dinner. What? No,
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you're the bad cop. Is that what? Just so that we're clear.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, obviously. I mean, with a mustache like this, it's just going to be nothing but indiscretions. All right.
Bad cop. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being online. By the way, I know we've had a lot of fun with this so far, but we do have a salute. We've actually got. Well, by the way, it's Christmas. We just passed the Christmas time.
Yeah, and I actually, I got you a gift. You got me a gift.
Yes, we did.
And I don't know what they are. I know you dropped your gift off here earlier in the week, and I'm gonna go ahead and start by opening up my Christmas gifts.
All right. So, guys, everybody online, Miles and I, as part of Christmas, have a Christmas exchange. I have 2 of them. Go ahead.
You got 2 gifts for me. Go ahead.
I got you 2 gifts. This first one is which one? Show the wrapping on that one. Which one is that one?
Oh, this is Is that the one I'm supposed to open?
Nope.
Okay, let me go back. I haven't opened anything yet. All right, plaid. My signature earth tone. Is that a thing? Oh my god. If it's full of glitter, I'm gonna reach into the screen and punch you in the face. All right, hold on. All right, hold on. Hold, please. Oh my God, hold on.
Hey, that wrapping took time. Be careful. Hey, you got to do it Japanese way, not the American way. The unwrapping. Okay.
That's what I think.
Thanks.
Oh.
Is that simple
Thank
enough
you.
for you?
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, this is pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta be sure to have it at your desk
Gonna
at work.
go.
You
It's
know.
gonna go
Yeah.
right there. It's beautiful, honestly. I cannot wait for
Every month, a brand new
12
one.
months, 365 of that. Can't wait
Yeah.
for the day I can put it away. All right, and
Nature's.
the second
Yeah.
one. Let's see
Second
what we
one.
got here.
Yeah. See
All
what you think
right,
about this
you
one.
you got a shirt. What does it say? Oh, damn, son!
Yeah, man. Take it.
Just didgeridoo it.
Did you
Oh,
redo
that's
it?
pretty good.
So I
Nice.
found this. Yeah, dude. You know how weird it was to find. I had to do a search. Now the NSA has a didgeridoo shirt search listing. I'm pretty sure I'm the only guy to ever do it, but there you go,
Well,
man. Yeah, yeah. To follow up, obviously
the
because of
NSA
our
now has
running
all your
joke.
data on didgeridoo. This guy's all weird about didgeridoo. So yeah. All right, now you got to open up your present. I actually did not get you anything with phalluses in it, anything like that. I got you a straight "I love you as a friend" poster. Not weird.
Oh, you took the
I
high
got
road this
you.
year.
I took the high road, and see, you would think
Wow.
I would take the low road, but I took the high road. All right,
Okay.
go on.
Okay, I'm gonna grab it.
Open it. Open it. Come on, Steven. Don't take forever. You're messing it up for everybody.
All right.
Jesus
Me.
Christ.
All right.
We'll try to make this fast, folks, because we got news and we have a
Yes,
bunch
we
of other
do.
stuff to do. All
This is
right.
the heartwarming moment, though, isn't it?
Go on.
Okay, it's a
Now,
poster of some sort, right?
now, yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. But hold on.
uh,
Before you do that, give me the, I want you to give me the screen.
give you the screen.
Give me the steering wheel. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, if you request,
I do request. Hit me. So for
there you
those
go.
that remember this, this was a video that came out in the Super Bowl back in 1990 when the Z32 came out. Me and Mike are both Z32 fanatics, for those
Yeah,
that don't know. So this was a commercial made for the Super Bowl by Ridley Scott at the time. So
yeah.
pretty hardcore stuff. Anyway, the visual quality on this isn't that great, but the sound is pretty amazing. I'm gonna play it. Hold on.
So I'm having this dream. I'm in a Turbo Z, and these guys are after me.
Beautiful car.
Catch me. So they
Ridley
got,
Scott has always been a favorite of mine too, ever since
Oh
Alien. And
yeah.
but they can't catch me. So they got this lead. Just as they're about to catch me, the twin turbos kicked in.
All right. So why did I waste 1 minute of airtime to play that?
why?
There's an important piece of that. Now open that.
Now open this. Okay, so there's
Now
a
open
piece.
that.
There's a piece. It's in between it, so I'm gonna remove that.
Yeah, that's a parchment. That's a cookie sheet paper.
Cookie sheet.
Also gave you that as a present. Yeah. Come on, let's go.
Okay, I have no idea what to expect.
Come on, Steven.
Hey, so I'm
Yeah.
having the stream. 10 Turbo Z. You guys have gotcha. Wow, man, where'd you get this at?
Well, that's what I'm about to show you
That
right now.
is, and my 300 is silver as well. So
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you
I
guys
know,
can
I
see that.
know,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know, I
I
know.
know,
Well,
I
actually,
know.
if you give me the steering wheel, let me
Again,
show you
oh, yeah.
something else. Again.
You gotta request it one more time, buddy. Sorry.
Boom. All right.
There you go.
All right.
Go for it.
All right. So this is actually I found this gentleman online through Facebook Marketplace.
Hmm.
He actually made this poster. This is his own uh, creation, and it's
Oh,
clean, man. Like honestly, I reached out to him, and apparently he's like a huge Z32 fan. Super cool dude, Andrew McIntosh. He doesn't have a shop, super small business owner. But for those that don't know, you can actually find him through Facebook Marketplace. I would type in like 300ZX Super Bowl. We'll also put the link here within the Nissan Nerd podcast, so you can check it out and you can pick them up yourself. I also got that same poster because I couldn't
mm.
live with just you having that poster. 'Cause it's too damn cool. But yeah, for those that don't know, that is probably my favorite gift that I've
Oh
seen
man,
this year, and I absolutely love it. And I just wanted to share it with the community because I thought it was a great piece of art, and I thought it was
yeah,
well done. Kudos to Mr. Andrew McIntosh. Again,
yeah.
he has limited runs of these, so you want to get in and buy yours early. Again, you can message him, Andrew McIntosh, Nissan Facebook
Mhm.
Market, or excuse me, Facebook Marketplace was the only place I found it. We'll put the link here at the end of the show, and or check it out on the Nissan Nerd podcast on Facebook. So again, very cool item, 36 by 24, high gloss. I absolutely love it. If you get a chance, get it.
You can feel it too, man. As I'm touching it, you can tell like the quality of the prints is there. That makes sense. That understands why there's the baking sheet in between. Just to protect it.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I like that.
So,
Obviously it's an art. It's you know, a rendering, but you can actually see like prism, like refractive light. Like
yeah.
it's some high quality art for sure, man. Thank you so
Well, that's
much.
what. Well, I'm glad you like it. Now,
Thank you.
that's what we're trying to do here in the make sure that you're happy. All right.
I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Shut up and take my money.
All right.
Yeah,
So for
yeah,
those
yeah,
out
yeah.
there, get out there, definitely buy that. All right, moving on.
Oh, man.
Well, before we get started, start going into the news. Wanted to give a little kanpai, a salute to those in the Nissan family who we wish good health, and to those we may have lost and are reminded of them often.
Woo.
Mike,
All right, guys. Kanpai. For those of you with us, join us, please.
boo! Little
Mm.
New Year's salute. Little Grandpa's cough medicine.
Yeah, and this one being the end of year, man. I was
Oh, we gotta
definitely
drink.
get a
Yeah, we gotta
get a
drink.
nice drink this time. So yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. So let's go straight into news. We got a lot to actually cover here today. Mike, I think you've got the first one. We're talking about this new technology. Hit it.
All right. So Miles, you actually shared this article with me. I guess week and a half ago, and I just had to take it because I thought it was really, really cool. This was a technology. I'm going to share this video in the background for you guys. You guys can see that, right? Can
Yeah.
you see that? All right. This is a video that was shared through Nissan's Japanese YouTube channel of a feature of auto glass. It's not exactly new per se, but for the automotive world, I think that it is. And really, really, really cool. I'm going to share it in the background, though. We'll kind of do a quick rundown of what's all happening. So we see here, of course, the guy, he's in a Nissan van. He's reading a book. Got some stranger outside. Hey, leave me alone. I don't want to see this awkwardness. That's a cute little button right there. The sheet, all the windows go completely opaque. You can't see through them. You get that privacy. They're showing it here also from the driver's side, behind the driver wheel. It's a button, a technology that is able to add a layer of privacy to the vehicle, but also do it in a very sleek and futuristic way, I guess. I think there are other technologies like this, specifically like an architecture or new buildings that will have this feature. But this is the first time I've seen it being used with automotive, and coincidentally, it was also in a Nissan. So this video's got a couple more seconds left, though. You can see here, obviously, we want privacy inside your vehicle. You see a guy here like changing his clothes or doing office work and wanting that privacy, no distractions. He can do that with this feature.
Wow.
And
I call it the Popo No Mo mod. So when you want to do a little illegal activity in your car, maybe you need some privacy time. Maybe you need to drink a little something, maybe a little smoke a little something. Maybe you need to, I don't know, tell somebody to mind their business in the back of the car. I mean, That's it.
Uh-huh.
That's it. That's the mod you need. But I am super actually I'm super interested in it. I wonder if it's going to make its way to most models, or it's going to be like a VIP thing, or what's going
Well,
down.
let me tell you more about that too. So obviously this video that we found, you see here, it's all in Japanese, right? So thankfully, Google can translate, and obviously there were some other links here. But if it's cool with you, man, I'm going to translate to you what this says here.
I can't wait to hear your
Oh, you
translation
can't
from
wait, right? Yeah.
Japanese and English. I think it's going to be perfect. Go on, Google Translate.
Yeah.
Tell me
Shield
more.
the window glass with a single touch when you want to maintain the privacy of the rear seats, such as when staying in the car. It is a retrofit film type electronic shade. Retrofit. So that was a really key word to me, saying that this could actually be an aftermarket accessory that could potentially be adapted for future car models. So that's one thing to think about as well. But more about it real quick, though. They do say that you can easily switch between two modes. You have the transparent mode when power is on, and then the shielding mode. That's the mode that you want when the power is off. That's with a single switch that you saw there in the video. You can easily create this privacy space, such as when you're staying in the middle of the night in your vehicle, perhaps. Since the film itself is gray, privacy is improved with a smoked film when it is transmitted. There was a link here to one of the manufacturers. This was Seco Electric. And the van model that you saw in the video was a Nissan Serena. I think the chassis code is C27. This was a Japanese model van, so we don't have it in the States. Sorry, guys. But let's see here. You have two options. You've got a 3-sheet transparent mode. Oh, sorry, 3-sheet privacy mode and a 5-sheet privacy shielding mode. So you can actually choose as part of your purchase how much privacy you want, and I'm assuming that 5-sheet's going to be the way to go. My opinion on that one.
I want to just say right now
Yeah.
that your translation through Google Translate, by the way,
Yeah.
from Japanese to English, I mean, it's just
Check out the big brain on bread.
it's just perfect. It's just
Thank you.
perfect, man. That's it. Yeah. So, but I mean, let's talk about the real reason why you probably want to get those rears. And I'm going to go to the comments on this one because
Yeah,
it actually
yeah.
just came out perfectly. Amon dropped in, I can see those windows being used in Pornhub. Right now, I'm gonna throw this at you, Amon.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
But I do understand. It's funny that I'm like, oh, privacy functionality. But the first thing that came to my mind is NC-17 stuff. I'm sorry. It's just
Well, what's funny to me, if this technology is either bought more often as an aftermarket accessory, or if it does become a factory option, I'm going to imagine there are going to be a lot of teenage boys asking their mom to borrow the keys to the van for date night. They're like, hey, mom, can I borrow the keys?
What's up?
Yeah.
And then, I'm telling you, and then just you get your date and you finally you pick her up, you pull off to the side of the road, and it's just like
the Thunderdome, bitch.
and it's just, I can't believe I hit that one. It was just like, woo. Anyway, but but we're gonna go ahead and let's get off of this for now. No pun intended.
Well,
also,
if it's okay, I'll end with a high note about this article.
let's end it with a high note, please.
Some of the good things, aside from the privacy, that could benefit because of this feature is you can also see a reduction of break-ins and burglaries when someone can't see inside the vehicle. Maybe the odds of someone breaking into said vehicle are reduced. So that was one benefit of that. And then secondly, I started thinking, what if in the future this feature is combined with autonomous driving? Like, does it include the windshield as well? I mean, if you don't need to drive and you're just trying to have a moment, like whoever's in the car, like driving. First of all, if someone else is driving my vehicle, I don't want to see the last moments of my life if I'm not in control anyway. So just make them all shielding. I don't care at that point. My opinion. But I do see the benefits for reduction of break-ins personally. So
Is that what it is? Is that what we're going with? We're reduction on break-ins. So, yeah. All right.
Got to take the high road on this one. So yeah. Uh,
Is that the van? Is that
that
the
is the
van that
van that you saw there.
all the perverts are gonna buy? All right, guys. So all those guys that have Spankwire accounts and RedTube and Pornhub, this is the van right there. You see the interior of this van?
Uh
Guess
huh.
what? We know things
Guess
might go
what?
down. Oh
Yes,
my
Miles.
God.
So I hope that was fun for you, Miles. I think there's definitely some potential. I hope that honestly, and like you said, with a van like that, you've got a lot of. Would you consider that van to be somewhat of a luxury
Oh yeah,
vehicle? I
totally.
mean, it's
Yeah,
a big vehicle.
I
Yeah.
would totally be enthusiastic about flipping my legs up to the wind, in that thing. So yeah, just getting them up there. But yeah, moving on.
Moving
Let's check
on.
our comments real quick. Ion said 3 sheets. He was talking about your window.
Yep.
3 sheets to the wind. Dad,
Mm, Dad,
Dad, with the
you're
dad jokes.
embarrassing us. No.
You're embarrassing me in front of my friends. All right, so just we're gonna leave it at that. Officially dead. Moving on.
Yep.
I got some actually interesting news. Steering wheel, please.
Yep.
All right. So let's see here. Booyah Kasha. All right. So this came actually just out a few days ago. And this is some news straight from Nissan themselves. So obviously, we know that Nissan Motorsports International, aka Nismo, has been in development. For those out of that are aware of Autech, in Japan. They're also a major customizer as well. Nissan's done something a little bit different this time. What they're doing is they're using the creative potential of both Autech and Nissan Motorsports International and combining their efforts for a new potential line of business. What that is entails kind of still a little secretive, but ultimately there's been a new company outlined for just this, and it's going under the name Nissan Motorsports and Customizing Co. or Nissan. We'll call it Nissan Motorsports and Customizing. The business
Hmm.
is set to primarily talk about conversions, discuss potential involvement in motorsports, parts and accessories development, business and business development for that same aspect. So they're going to
Okay.
be potentially, we're going to start seeing this around April of 2022 this year. They're already putting some money behind it, and it's potentially going to be developed in all separate areas. So we don't really have exactly where it's going to land, but it looks like it's all going to be happening out of Japan. Here in the States, it's hard to say, but with the way things are with Nismo, we're
Mhm.
probably going to get maybe parts development. We'll probably see the fruits of that. So
Yeah.
right now they're employing 600 employees out of Nissan, in God knows where. So maybe they're hiring right now for it. Tell me about a time that you developed a custom. I'm just kidding, but ultimately that's kind of what's going down right now. So it's interesting. In the past we've seen Nissan develop things in case of failure. That's the whole reason Datsun was created. Ultimately, in
Yeah.
case it failed in the United States, it wouldn't be egg on the face of the brand and the company in Japan.
Okay.
So I'm curious if that is something that, hey, we're interested in really going into high development for motors, for car parts and customization for customers' cars and car development specifically for that line, but they don't want the egg on their face, so they're creating this. I don't know, or they're just saying, you know what, let's put all the cards on the table. We're all in. So it's hard to say with Nissan, but I mean, historically, that's what's happened. I don't know. Anybody got any input, Mike? What's your feeling on this?
I agree what you mean. How you said the way I was going to word it was a experimental line. It's an outlet for Nissan, Nismo, and Autech to explore new ideas, and like you said, to save face, to save the reputation of their core brand. So this new brand is a way to try these new things, and like I said, yeah, if things don't work out, well, it's to say, well, this is the new business. We're trying things out. So for for them to enable themselves just to experiment in general, I think that's an awesome move for them to make. Like we said, even from the last couple of the last article, there are so many different. I mean, the technology available is just there's so much that you can integrate into a vehicle. So for Nissan and for Autech to give this a shot, I really think it's a great thing. I think they're moving really really fast too. You're saying April 2022, 4 months from now. This article just came out this month.
Now, think of this, and then for those that have been following the podcast for a while, we obviously talk about news and development, what's happening with Nissan quite a bit. It's the first part of our segment, but think about this. Now, I'm just putting this on the table right now, but also you covered an article where they were reinforcing carbon fiber pieces in production lines for some of the higher end stuff.
Yep.
Think about all that, plus all the development that's happening with all the electronic stuff. I mean, there is a lot in the pot that's right now. So, even for a guy like me who's pretty spot on with what's going to happen in the future,
Yeah.
and then I've got my spies and my ghosts inside the company, and people whisper me things all the time. I really am kind of up in the air of what's going to happen in 2022, and I sit and ponder this all day long about what the development's going to be for Nissan. There is a lot, and I mean a lot of changes that are coming down the pipeline, and it's just the Z and a few of these other models are spearheading it right now. The Araya, the Frontier, the Pathfinder. I mean, all that stuff just kind of dropped. And there's so many other things that are still that are yet to be developed and yet to be dropped. And I don't know, man. I'm just kind of like my head's kind of spinning with all the new stuff that's kind of happening there. So yeah.
I think what I thought of right now as well is the future of well, first of all, I think you mentioned earlier that this is a motorsports and customization brand, and with a new company like this or a new branch, new division, and the future of cars going electric motor, this may be the beginnings of a performance performance branch. Maybe that's. I mean, I think we're all speculating, but it would be nice to think that maybe this is the beginnings of an performance branch of Nissan. The Nismo E version of it potentially. And Autech has been around for a very very
A
long
long
time.
time.
This isn't the first time. Yeah.
And they developed some really killer stuff, honestly. Bert mentioned on here, he's excited to see what Autech and Nissan will do, but found out Autech has been using Nissan for a long time. And he's 100% accurate.
Yep.
Nismo and Autech have been collaborating for decades, and he's completely 100% accurate. It makes sense for them to do a formal relationship or a partnership. Yeah, I would agree.
If you ask the 350Z,
We've been dating for so long. Let's just make it official. This is I'm not saying we're engaged. This is a promise ring, right? This is a James Avery promise ring. It's $79.95, but I can assure you it's full silver.
sterling
And,
silver.
yeah. This is so we can get to third base. And really go at it. Now, if you don't mind, let me just hit the button and make it official. Let's fog out these windows and let's just see where it takes us.
Nissan and Autech are going to use the fogging windows to consummate this third base promise ring. Yeah,
That's exactly what's going to happen.
That's a good analogy. I like that. That's
well, we'll see how it goes. We'll see if I'm wrong or if I'm 100% accurate.
This is a nerd thing for me, man. This is what I learned. If you didn't know this already, for the 350Z guys, the Nismo 350Z and Nismo 370Z, the Nismo guys will really tell you which models or which years had Autech influence and which ones didn't. The 350Z Nismo was a collaboration with Autech, the body kits, so some of the suspension. The early 370Zs, I believe, were non-Autech, but the 2015 plus, I think, were Autech. So it's kind of, I mean, again, I'm really kind of getting into nitty gritty though, but
yo, look at Mike.
Well, you learn a lot, man. When you're dealing with a Nissan shop, you learn about that stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. I'm obviously very optimistic about what happens in the future. Of course, if we get new articles and new updates, I'm sure Miles, you and myself will be sharing with them in the future.
Well, that's what we do. We talk trash and we deliver news. That's what my job is. So yeah, I don't know if you knew that. So uh,
Yeah.
anyways, so let's I don't think we have anything else that we got to review. All right, let's move
News.
on to the next articles.
Yeah.
Motorsports. Again, we got quite a bit that we want to talk about for the motorsports aspect. So
Yep.
between the last podcast that we did, and our attempt to do a recent interview, which we'll talk about here at the end of the podcast. Um, we did get a lot of news that actually came out of the Super GT world. Actually, as soon as Super GT ended, it seemed like Nissan, and it's a pretty smart move, dropped a huge bomb on the world. And for those that don't know, the GTR is ceased to be, at least from what we can tell, in the 500 class. Oh, and by the way, I've got something that I got straight overnighted from Japan,
Shut
son.
up, for real.
I did overnighted from Japan in in respect. So hold on.
Really?
Oh,
Oh, that's your
what's up,
famous.
bud?
That's your Calisonic hat, huh?
Oh, what's up?
Snazzy, dude.
Oh,
That looks
snazzy with the
awesome.
Velcro, back. Damn, Daniel. All
Yeah.
right, so, but oh, dude, look at me. Let me show it off for a quick second. Boom. Can't get this anywhere else, homie.
That is
Booyah, kasha.
awesome, dude. That is a nice looking
Yeah.
hat. Yeah, we got some guys
Uh,
online that are saying the same thing. Thanks,
oh
Josh.
yeah, you got to get this if you don't. So before it goes to eBay and it's like $4 billion. So shout out to Stan Salazar, actually out of Corpus Christi, aka DJ 620.
Yeah.
So he hooked me up with this. He did a overnight cargo freight from Japan, and he got a bunch of like Super GT stuff, and he hooked me up with this. So,
Awesome.
but yeah, kind of going back to what I was talking about. So obviously, the GTR is no longer going to be happening in the 500 class, from what we understand. 300 class, I think it's still up in the air. I've heard some rumors. We don't know anything just yet, but again, we do know the big news was that the Z is going to be taking over the 500 class, at least in the from what we understand from Nissan at this time. Mike, steering wheel, if you please, por favor.
Sure, sure.
All right.
Where you at, dude?
And I'm going to run this in the background. Actually, I'm going to show you something first.
Mhm.
Booyakasha. So this was actually some of the pictures that were actually on the Super GT site, pulled straight out of Autobox Super GT page. This is all the news, the information. Obviously, unless you've been living under a rock, you haven't heard. You've probably heard about this information. I do like some of these photos that they kind of put out. And there's a lot of information that is coming straight out of corporate of what's happening. Some people kind of talked about what's going to be happening with this. A few people talked about it. Matsuda mentioned that just seeing it up close, I am overwhelmed by its aura. I can't wait to drive it. Who's obviously one of the GT drivers from last year, continuing his campaign on for this year. There was another line in here that I really liked, and it came from one of the corporate folks. It's actually straight from Masuda as well. He goes, I'm very happy to be here at the unveiling of the new Z machine in 2022. I want to make sure we win with the Super GT Championship. Ooh, already talking a big game. And open a page in the history of the new Z. And then Gupta, who we've been seeing a lot of lately, we saw him at the new Z promo
Mhm.
reveal as he came out of nowhere, the new COO. Just like the legendary figures of the past who have been involved in the Nissan Z history, we at Nissan will once again take on new challenges that we hope will make our fans proud that they have cheered us on. Well, I'm super excited about it. I mean, they're obviously putting a lot of development in. And by the way, I want to show you the butt here real quick. I mean, look at that, Mike. It's pretty good.
Look at that
Now,
wang, dude. Woo.
look at that wang. So I also want to show you some live footage that actually came just here recently when they did the unveil. They also did this guy for those that didn't get a chance to check it out. Meow, meow, meow.
What do you got? What do you got?
I got some stuff, but
You gonna put it on mute on that one too, just in case.
oh, I got it on mute. Yeah, so I can
Yeah,
talk.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they honestly did a really great unveiling again, right at the tail end of Super GT. A very, very smooth move. I have to say that one thing about when Nissan drops some promotion stuff or some marketing, they're pretty slick. Sometimes in some of the stuff that they do. This is one of them. So a really big announcement at the time, but I mean, just check out this machine.
That looks dangerous, man. That looks awesome.
So they haven't really talked yet about a lot of the development for the car yet. Aerodynamics. They don't know if they're going to be able to. If they don't know if they're going to be making some changes. The width of the car has been a concern, making the guidelines because some of the 22 guidelines for Super GT are still kind of being written at this time while the new season is underway.
Talk.
The roof line apparently is another part of contention. It they were already saying that the roof line is an advancement versus what the GTR version was, and I'm like, whoa! So
Wow.
there's a lot of like little rumors and things like that that are kind of coming out. So I don't know, man. I feel like Nissan's going to be throwing a lot of money at their racing program this upcoming year, with everything that they've got going
Oh, of
on.
course they
So
have to. I mean, not only as a team to be competitive, but they have this brand new car, brand new chassis, which I'm sure by now they've done tons of research on to fine tune this thing. But I mean, once they, for the first time, get in this car on the track in competition, is when they'll ultimately know whether this was a huge leap forward or whether they stayed the same performance wise. I mean, we're going to find out. I mean, they've got to invest. This is a very critical year, in my opinion, to really make a real splash with the new Z, especially in this league, Super GT.
yeah, I mean, you and I both talk about like how we were potentially going to see the new Z and grassroots motorsports and things like that. But
Yeah.
I kind of had a feeling that we would, and I rumored this probably 6 months ago when we talked about it. When the new Z hits, we wanted to see if it was going to make in Super GT, but I couldn't see it going
Yeah.
past the 300 class. Quite honestly, just because the GTR was there. So for them to do this kind of move. I mean, and you don't know what's driving that. I'm trying to figure out if they're kind of like done with the GTR at this time, or putting it on pause, or if they paid their homage with obviously with the last GTR that kind of came
Mhm.
out. I mean, I think sales numbers have kind of are maybe driving that. You and I talked about
Yeah.
sales numbers probably like 4 episodes ago,
Yeah.
where we talked about how the GTRs just weren't really selling. Neither were the 370s, but the fan base for the Z is obviously a lot stronger than the GTR base, only because of owners.
Well,
In,
it's more accessible, even from a
I'm not
price
saying
point.
if we put them in a room and fight to the death, we're not going to go. We're not what I'm talking about. I'm ultimately talking about people that actually with keys in their hand, or have owned one, or have had the experience of the GTR versus the Z. The Z is going to win every
well,
time because the production factors are just so much higher.
Well,
So
at least in the U.S. market for sure, because I mean, up until what 2008, 2009, the GTR wasn't even a model line in the U.S. So it's really hard to get some hardcore GTR enthusiasts because there hasn't been enough time for it to have been here long enough. Meanwhile, the Z's been here for 50 years already. It's got a huge, huge establishment. It's in the roots of many families and owners having owned multiple generations of Z cars. So definitely, even as a U.S. and much less the price point, much more the new Z is a much more accessible sports car. So I can see the reasoning behind that to promote it as much as they are. It did kind of confuse me as well because how you said earlier, the GTR is in the 300 class. Meanwhile, the Z is in the 500 class. But when you look at the numbers, the Z, at least in production numbers, the new Z is 400 horsepower range. The GTR is still in the 600 minimum horsepower
yeah,
range. So the higher horsepower car is in the lesser class. Which it does seem kind of confusing, but that just might say that Nissan's got some really big moves ahead of them that they're going to be growing into this new chassis or
yeah,
into the Z. I shouldn't say new chassis, but
I would agree.
this model. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the fact that they're looking at a big game with motorsports development with Autech and Nismo. I mean, that relationship had been there, but maybe it's a little more the checkbook's a little more relaxed in that respect.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe this upcoming year is going to be a really good year for motorsports. I had my doubts,
Yeah.
but maybe it will. I Now this works great for Japan and the classes and the and everybody that follows this, but I'm really still hopeful that we get something here in the States. I really want to see like a Spec Z class come out with this new
Yes.
Z. I really want to see
Yes.
like grassroots options and things for this when this finally hits. So here in the US, I really want to see that kind of involvement and love for it. But God knows what's going to happen. I mean, I guess you have to start with your home in Japan and then work your way over to the other markets. So
Yeah.
we'll keep you updated as we move forward. Let's go to comments, see what
Yeah.
people have. So let's see here.
I'm gonna. Yeah. Who do you got? Who do you got?
Yeah. Now, I was just looking at Josh's note. He says, "Does this mean the U.S. is finally getting a Nismo Leaf?" Don't 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 hold your breath on that one, Joshy. All right. Let's see here. During the Z, Amon threw this out here, and I saw this too. During the Z reveal, the GT500s are 4-cylinder. Saw that. I didn't want to talk about it because it isn't publicly it's not confirmed what's actually gonna go in this or what the field's gonna be running. So
That's
it,
interesting.
it's hard to say. I feel like a lot of changes are going to happen in Super GT this year. I'll
Mhm.
try to keep you abreast of them as they go
Yeah.
public, and as I can Google Translate them, I'll definitely let you know. So
And up till now, 4-cylinder and Z has kind of been very, very separated. You haven't heard any of that in any promotion of that. It's always been saying twin turbo V6. So I know, even just from a business standpoint, a 4-cylinder as a base model, and that's just production though. But on a motorsports aspect, the idea of Z and 4-cylinder, that kind of, yeah. I saw that comment and kind of took me by surprise. So yeah, please keep us updated on that, man.
yep, we agree. So yep, we'll keep you abreast as we move forward.
Breast.
Moving, yeah, I said abreast. Yeah.
Where's your
All right.
background for that one? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, no, sir, not. That'll be the end
Nope.
of us. So
Yeah, canceled. Fatality.
that'll be the end of us. We'll get canceled. All right. So
Mhm.
moving on. You've got some news to talk about. Obviously, Nissan's putting a lot of money in potential for Super GT. Formula E seems like it's also a big platform from them too as well. You've got some new information. Drop it.
I do, guys. So, on the last episode that we talked motorsports with Nissan, the EDAMS team, we had covered that the team had been doing a lot of development testing for the 2022 season in Spain. As soon as the final race was over, literally the next day or the following week, rather, many teams were doing testing and development of the new. For the 2022 season. What I failed to share, and this is actually a new article, which I'm going to go ahead and share my screen on this, is that there is a new Generation 3, third generation chassis, power plant. Might you just say a new formula, a revised formula for the Formula E league, which Nissan is no exception to this. As a constructor in the Formula E, these new milestones that are going to be used here in the 2022 season will be applied to Nissan. And so this article here really kind of gives a nice bullet point summary as to what changes are actually being made to the cars for this next season. And some of them are actually very, very huge. I honestly try to summarize this as quickly as possible, but the bullet points or the summary that they've given here is spot on. I mean, these new developments are just so wild and new that I really can't ignore them. So let me go down a list. I'm gonna let you know what's happening. All right. Uh, New generation technology has the most efficient racing car ever. At least 40% of the energy that this car will have will be produced through regenerative braking. The regenerative braking technology is so advanced this time around that these Formula E cars are the first cars in motorsports to not feature rear hydraulic brakes. There are no rear brakes on this thing. It's purely regenerative braking in the rear. So that's a first for motorsports as a whole. Moving on, regenerative ability for first is, let's see here. These cars will be the first Formula cars to have front and rear powertrains. Up until now, the Generation 1 and 2 cars of Formula E have been just a single motor car in the back. Now, for 2022, it's front and rear motors. I did some translation here in terms of horsepower. So in the rear, you're going to have 470 horsepower. In the front, 335. You're looking at 800 horsepower total for these new cars, which is a huge boost because last year you're looking at the 600 range horsepower. So these cars are getting much more power for the 2022 season. That results into a newer high speed or newer top speed. Previously, you were getting about 160 horsepower, and now you're looking at 200 horsepower in these new cars. Let's see what we else got here. These chassis are getting smaller and lighter as well compared to the Generation 2 cars. Miles, I know you're gone. You got to check in whenever you can here, but I'm going to keep on going. The big thing on this, though, as well, is that Formula E and the EDAMS team included are saying that these are net zero carbon producing cars. They're maintaining a status as being the first in motorsport to be certified with a net zero carbon footprints since its inception, Formula E, which I believe we are in season 9 getting into this thing. Of course, you can look at these pictures here. Some sleek body designs as well. What else we have here? This is actually a very good one, Miles. Where are you at? You've got technical difficulties, don't you? I see you. There you go. There you go.
I just got punted real quick. No big deal.
I'm going to keep going. I'm not sure what you missed. What did you miss?
Nothing. I see everything. Go on.
So we were getting away from the power aspects of the car and really kind of getting into the theme of Formula E and some new technology that's actually happening this year. We're looking at, these cars are a large part made out of carbon fiber. And up until now, if you broke a carbon fiber part in competition, those parts would go to scrap. There's not much way to recycle them or to reuse them just because of the material that it is. Now, up until now, 2022, they have an innovative new process that's currently being used in innovation in aerospace that allows you to recycle carbon fiber parts to reuse them for different applications. Maybe not a Formula E application, but you're able to reuse that same material for other applications outside of Formula E. So this really is not only a efficiency power through e-motors, but also being very considerate of the environment, as little waste as possible. Anyway, in the end here, though, the Formula E CEO said that the Gen 3 car is the fastest, lightest, most powerful, and most efficient racing car yet. It is a creature designed for its habitat, racing on city streets in wheel-to-wheel combat. And, of course, he's saying that he looks forward to witnessing it inspire and excite the next generation of motorsports fans in cities around the world in Season 9. Season 9 does start in late January 2022. So we've got a lot of good things to see. We're seeing these, again, faster, lighter, more powerful e-cars. I know in the past, Miles, we had always speculated, what's going to happen to Formula One and internal combustion. And potentially could Formula E, I don't want to say replace it because I love F1 so much still, but it could be on the same level as Formula One in terms of performance and even investment. Because Formula E at this point is still, from a budget aspect, I imagine, still working its way up into a Formula One type status. What do you think?
I would agree 100%. I mean, I feel like there's nowhere but up for Formula E, quite honestly. I mean, I'm still excited about the idea that Formula E could have an influx of a fan base based off of the potential for a Netflix episode. I heard a rumor that that is potentially it's becoming more and more of a possibility.
Hmm.
To me, that's pretty damn exciting. I still think that the racing is extremely complex. I think it's difficult on the drivers. This back to back racing sometimes that they do is like, you don't see that in a lot of other motorsports. So,
You
I
don't.
mean, the
Yeah.
stresses that these folks have and the work that they're putting into race at the level that they are, it just demands respect. I know people keep, giving them the toss off because we're obviously talking about the combustion versus the E type engines, but the racing is still very much there. The passion is there.
Yeah.
The drive to win is very much still there for these folks. So for them not to get the nod equivalent to what a racer should get, I don't think that's very fair. And I think they really deserve this next level of open this next level of development and evolution that's going to kind of come
There you
from
go.
the the public getting more familiar with it. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I stumble. All right.
I'm just messing
You
with
know
you,
what I
man. I'm
need? I need
sorry.
my thinking juice. That's what I
There you
need.
go. Get your drinking juice. There you go. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, back to what I was talking about. Yeah, I think it's nothing but up for the Formula E series. So yeah,
Yep.
kudos.
I really am excited both for Super GT and Formula E this year. First of all, I should say too, I am a huge Formula One fan. So the amount of time I'm going to have to dedicate for Formula One, Formula E, and Super GT is going to be very, very difficult. I'm going to, and even now, thanks for the picture change on that one, Miles. I can see your the amount of time I'm going to have to dedicate to motorsport here in 2022 is going to be threefold. It's going to be much less any other sports like football. Oh my god, I'm going to be so busy just trying to keep up. So definitely
Yeah. Why do
a
you
smorgasbord,
still
if you will.
you still watch football? Why?
When I can, only Thursday. Oh, actually, right now that's Thursday night's
You know
football
what?
and whatever else.
That's
So.
just toxic masculinity telling you that you got to watch that.
All Miles and all his wokeness. Yes, thank you, Miles.
I'm just saying.
Hey, real
I am
quick,
a model. I am a model for wokeness. All right,
you
just so
are a
you know.
model for
All
wokeness.
right.
Real quick before we go, Miles, we do have tons of comments here after we have spoken here about GT, Super GT, and Formula E.
Sure.
Of course, Ahmad saying loving Formula E. I'm really glad you're on top of this with us, Aman. Let's keep on going for 2022 as well. Bert-O-Matic had said, this is a really good idea. He goes, I would totally buy sunglasses with frames made of recycled carbon fiber race parts. That would be pretty cool. I'm thinking it's going to cost, but I mean, I love the
Bert,
idea.
Bert don't care. Bert just needs that in his life. Bert is next level nerd, and for him, I'm going to give him a shout out because that's pretty nerddom, and I'm pretty proud of Bert for saying that. It's just, I haven't heard a whole lot of nerd deserve yelling just
Yeah.
yet, but we'll see as we go on throughout the night. Thinking
Ion,
about. Go ahead.
yep, Ion did say though, when we're talking about the Super GT 3Z and a lot of those parts here, potential upgrades that could be accessible straight through the Nissan and Nismo catalogs. Very, very exciting. Of course, the Nismo division, side note, has been expanding their catalogs for very much here in 2021. Let's just hope that 2022 is the same as well. So,
Yeah, a little shout out to Ion on that one. Give him a little.
yep. And I will agree. Last one here. I'm going to agree with Josh saying here that Infinity needs to sponsor an F1 car again, which is kind.
Yeah.
And let me say this because Nissan and Infinity, Nissan division has a joint stake with Renault as a business. They have stake like a 33% share in Renault. Renault is a constructor in Formula One, but it's not the Infinity label. It's not the Nissan label. It's
Yeah.
just a percentage. So a lot of times I feel tempted to share Renault updates. However, yeah, man, it's just until it's Infinity again. Red Bull just won this year. Red Bull was a uh, a team that Infinity was a constructor for. So, oh man, if they get back into that, oh, that'd be
You're gonna
awesome.
nerd out, aren't you?
Yes,
You're like,
yes,
all
yes,
right.
yes. So yeah. Ye-
All right, stop.
Okay.
Just
Oh,
so yeah, a lot of crazy stuff going on.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, we're all right. We got to stop nerding out because we got a lot that we're going over tonight. You and I can talk in a back alley for the longest time, and that's
Yep.
exactly what we're gonna step into right now.
Yes, we
We're gonna go
are.
into back alley chat, but we've got a weird back alley chat. We've got to recap an entire year of stuff. Um, you're gonna do the bricks.
Yep.
You're gonna go
Yep.
right to.
We're in
Oh,
the back alley, bro. Ugh.
hold on. I'll get right there with you.
We're there. We are there. Yeah.
What'd you
Chingazos.
bring, man? What do you got in that thing, huh? Hey,
Get
hey, hey.
the Warriors. Clink, clink, clink.
Pop the hood. Pop the hood.
All right, let's go. And that's what this is here to simulate. All the trash talking, everything you would normally have in a parking lot at 10 o'clock at night when you should be home with your family, but it doesn't matter. You should be in a parking lot talking about cars and all the nerddom that goes with it. So we are going to recap today 2021. Oh, man. That
Mhm.
is a lot to go over. I guess let's start with what happened in Nissan. I mean, Nissan's had a pretty big year coming out of all the drama that they had in 2020. Mike, give me some moments. What has Nissan got going on?
Well, let's just go ahead and say it, which is, I think, in my opinion, the biggest one. After so many years of fake renderings, now we've had the Z. Granted, we've seen the Z Proto since then, but the production version Z car has been revealed. We've seen it in person, Miles. Amazing. Nissan was very true to the Z Proto and the production model. Very few changes were made in between then. In fact, I think Tamuro-san had mentioned 90% of the Z Proto was retained with the production version. So that was a big one for me. I really just love that. We know that officially the name is Nissan Z. Very clean. I love it that as well. Again, as a PSA, everybody stop calling it the 400Z. That's just me.
The
Uh,
we don't want to call it the Z35 stuff.
and essentially everything about the Z car has been released aside from the release date and the MSRP. Nissan's still keeping us on our toes on that one. But yeah,
Give me the steering wheel.
sure. What do you got? What do you got?
Remember, so that's what photos we took
Some
ourselves.
magical moments there, Miles. Yes, you are
Yeah.
right.
Very cool, very cool.
That was you took those photos. So not to get ahead of
What-
ourselves,
Well,
but
yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I
okay,
just wanted to
okay.
throw that out there. The big reveal, we were obviously there for, I guess, the stateside version of that. So
Mhm.
yeah, that was cool. So yeah, we also at the same ZCon that we saw,
Yep.
we saw the first time we saw the new Frontier. We saw the new Pathfinder as well. It had already been released, but we finally saw it at ZCon, if I remember correctly. Is that right?
Yes, they were. Nissan
Yeah.
was there with the new Frontier and Pathfinder at the same time. Yep.
I remember seeing it at the host hotel of the lobby. I was underneath it, and the folks from Nissan were like, "Who's this crazy guy?" Like underneath, looking at our tailpipes, and I'm like, "All right, well." I mean, I was all over that new Frontier, and I honestly, I still love it. I'm just waiting. I'm looking at potentially upgrading mine, my old worn out Nismo Frontier, but one of these days we'll have to step into that. So I absolutely love it. I think the colors are great,
Yeah.
all the options that they've got available. But yeah, anyway, moving on.
Mhm.
Let me see here. How was Formula E this last year?
Not so good this year. Now we did finish, I believe, ninth. I believe there's just over 10 competitors. I'm sorry if I don't have the exact number at the moment. It honestly, it was not I'm just gonna say it was the worst finish we've ever had as a constructor in Formula E. But again, we've talked about that as we had been recapping that event throughout the entire year. A lot of it had to do with bad luck, a lot of technicalities. Meanwhile, though, Sebastian Buemi and Oliver Rowland did have some good finishes throughout the season. I'm really hoping that this next 2022 season just has better luck for the team in general, especially with these new powertrains, and also with the new driver. We've since replaced Oliver Rowland with Maximilian Gunther. So he's going to
Yeah.
be a very exciting guy to look into
So Boemi
here
has a new
coming up.
partner for the upcoming year. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So
Yep. Yep.
yeah, let's go to it's before we move on. Let's go to comments.
Yeah.
Bert, I'm seriously considering trading in my Armada for the new Pathy. I don't blame you, man. Honestly, the new Pathfinder looks pretty sweet. I like the Frontier. I like the Pathfinder as well. I mean, I think it's moving in the right direction for me personally of
Yeah.
what I wanted. The Pathfinder before wasn't bad, but it didn't excite me holistically. You know, it was a cool car, but there were certain features about it that I was just like, it wasn't quite there for me.
I
So
I think for me personally, Miles, from what I've heard too, is that you've got a 4-wheel drive and a 2-wheel drive option. However, the 2-wheel drive is front-wheel drive. Is that? I think that might be correct. Again, if anybody online, feel free to correct me. But
yeah.
if I were to go Pathfinder, I would, just for the sake of having some rear wheels that are powered, I would probably go 4-wheel drive option personally. But go ahead.
Well,
Yep.
one of these days. But yeah, I mean, I love it. You know, I love that they're finally developing everything from what I would be buying. You know, I felt like for a long time there was stuff that was coming out that just wasn't grabbing me as a consumer. I mean, I can't own everything, but you know, I could still kind of nod, be like, oh, that's a pretty cool ride, you know. But there was a lot that you were just like, really, just we're gonna let that go. All right, sure, why not? All right,
Well,
but
yeah.
yeah. So I also think that it's like for a long time there was stuff that came out, but then there would be no support for the aftermarket portion of it. Like you put a Juke out, and then it's like the Juke looks cool in its own right. It can look cool. But out of the box, when it first hit, people were just like, "Oh, I don't know about that car," and it didn't get the most rave reviews. But as people started messing with a lot of the potential for the car, which there was, you know, it started looking pretty cool. Same thing for the Cube. I mean, it dropped. People in the United States, I don't know. We'll leave it at that. But my point is that the direction of everything with Nissan is moving in a I think in a positive
Yep.
positive move at this point. So
I
I'll
I
leave it
think
at that.
Yeah, I think for us as enthusiasts, I think the course the Z Pathfinder, the Frontier has been huge steps forward, and much desired as enthusiasts. Because obviously the Z up until now, of course, we're still waiting for it to reach dealerships, though. But I think we're very, very excited for the new model Z car. Pathfinder and especially the Frontier. Frontier hadn't really seen a huge face. I shouldn't even say facelift. This was an all new model. Hadn't
Yeah.
seen that happen in over a decade. So really excited to see that, and it's gotten really good reviews online, not only from just media outlets like Car and Driver and a bunch of others, but they have received some awards as well. So it really is making some very good impressions in its first year, the new Frontier and Pathfinder. So
Yeah.
very excited about that. Moving on to us, so Miles, unless you had something else.
Well, I wanted to comment. Bert said he loves his manual transmission Cube, and I would agree 100%. I actually like the Cube. I've driven them twice cross country, and I actually enjoy the Cube. Everybody laughs at me for liking the Cube. You too, Mike. You dog me, but I like it.
Well,
And finding it in a manual, believe
yeah.
it or not, I got a call today. A dude had a right-hand drive Cube in the middle of God
What?
knows where, and he called me. He's like, dude, we were just talking about stuff, and he happened to be a Z guy, and he's like, dude, I got a right-hand drive Cube. It was a trade-in. I cannot get rid of this car. And he goes, if you want it, it's yours. And he gave me a price. And I'm like, oh, let me grind my teeth on it. So,
Wow.
but I mean, I like the Cube. I've driven them. They're great. They're comfy. They're quiet. There's a
I
lot of headroom, if you're going to have a tall person rolling with you. So,
Yeah.
but
Uh, I honestly, I'll be honest with you, Miles. In the last couple months, I've driven behind a few on the roads,
starting
and
to get you.
it was one of those. The Cube was one of those vehicles where it was so. I mean, would you call it somewhat of a novelty? Just because it was the Cube. I mean, it's in the name
Of
itself. It
course.
was meant to be this
Absolutely. It
cute
was a
car.
novelty.
This,
Yeah.
this, this.
Well,
But there were a lot of features. Yeah, I've
it was,
actually been curious about doing some sort of review
it
on it
was an inner
myself.
city Japanese craze for a hot minute, and that's what it kind of took off. And Scion, and the what XB, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
That and a few other models kind of took off. Toyota did a version of it as well. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean it was cool at the time, but yeah, we're gonna stop on that. But yeah, stop dogging me on the Cube, because one day you're gonna be riding shotgun in it, or we're gonna be taking a cruise halfway across the country, and then you're gonna be like, I kind of dig the Cube. Yeah, you do.
Well, get
You
the
will.
right-hand drive
I
one
will.
too.
I'm gonna sell you on the coolness of the Cube one of these days. And one day I'll have a Cube,
I'm
and we'll go
down.
from maybe the Krome version, maybe the poor man version. It doesn't matter. It all costs like $400 these days. So that was. I think it came out with a price point of like $800. But my point is, the Cube was cool. All
Yeah.
right, moving on. I'm going to
Moving
get off
on.
the
Moving
Cube
on.
for now. Now, let's talk about some notable Nissan Nerd podcast moments that we had in 2021. And we
Yes.
had quite a few. We've developed a lot from when we almost started this thing. We started off with just doing no
Yeah.
live, none of this existed. We were just simply doing audio. We were old school podcast nerds, and
None.
we started off with that. We had a lot of great interviews. We did Pepe Pombo. This is all 2020.
Yep.
2019, we did Pepe Pombo. We did Diane, who
Wesley
was
Cray. Yeah.
who
Mary
was
from Ken and
Mary
Mary.
from the Ken and Mary commercials. Super awesome. I absolutely love her. I consider
Yep.
her my grandmother. But we had a lot of great interviews that we just never got a visual aspect, and that's what we're trying to do right now, in trying to incorporate some of the more historic folks into getting online with us, and coming out and talking
Yep.
about all that stuff.
Good point,
But yeah,
Miles. It's just coincidence,
it's
though. Today, to the day, is exactly 1 year since our first live stream. We started
really
this whole live stream venture a year ago today, so it's just coincidence. It's been pretty good. I mean, again, you're right. Up until all of 2020 had been done was just a literally edited audio only formats, and then now it's been raw, unedited. You can see our faces. We can interact with you guys. I mean, it really has been. We were trying to, and which is a big leap, by the way, because granted we're honing our skills, but oh man, I mean, it's definitely a challenge, a good learning curve along the way, though, too. But um, I'll throw some facts at you, Miles. Though this year we've had 22 episodes, we've had 5 interviews. Definitely want to give thanks to Brian Settle, Josh Lyman. We've got Aaron from a Dotson's Around the Bend as well. Spitzer Hutchins from Z1. Ben Lillard from Skillard. Of course, we've got I should say Josh was from Branson Z Fest. Brian's from Z Days. So we've had some really good conversations with some automotive. Performance constructors, event organizers along the way this year. And of course, for 2022, we've got a lot more interviews scheduled coming up. But yeah, what else? What else you got?
Well, the other thing too, it's like, it's been a crazy year, obviously with COVID, and the fact that you're going to die as soon as you step outside of your house has been a really big thing. The events that we did get together, which you and I really didn't have a chance to do a whole lot of road trips. We love to do road trips,
Yep.
but this year, I think in 2020, the only road trip that we kind of did was running up to my property, doing a couple, and we ran up to Manitou and Pikes Peak and a couple of the things.
Hmm.
But we didn't have a lot of opportunities to go have fun in 2020. This year in 2021, a little bit looser, a little more chance to kind of do things. We got together for a massive road trip for ZCon 2021. Obviously, we went with our hetero life mate, Ayon, who was with us. Also, our camera boy, as we like to call him,
Yes.
sometimes aka Fluffer. But we took care. He jumped in the van with us for this last year, and we had a blast. I had a chance to really meet a lot of people that I normally don't get a chance to check out. I mean, this is the first year I'd had a chance to meet Bert. Actually, we only we were passing because you and I were trying to hit something, and
Yeah.
I was like, I wanted to hang out, but we missed him, unfortunately. But we'll get you on the next one, Bert, and we'll give you the real Nissan nerd backdoor experience. And we met quite a few folks this last year.
Yeah.
Ben, I've known online, but we got a chance to hang out with him and his sister. They were amazingly cool
Lots
people.
of fun. Great company.
We got to meet all kinds of cool people. Now that I kind of scroll through stuff, I mean, it's just I had such a good time. We saw Tamura-san, and he was super cool. He signed a bunch of stuff for
Yes,
us.
he did.
Ran into Brian Highcotter again, who we always love and we always support him.
Oh, yep.
We saw Peter Brock. We met him. I got a chance to kind of talk
Oh,
to him for a few moments. We ran
yeah.
into our favorite, the father of Nissan Nerd Podcast, some would say, Art Singer, who was my boss for the longest time, who I absolutely love. We ran into all these guys. Vintage Thunder, those two guys were amazingly cool. I absolutely loved kind of talking shop with them for a little while. It just so many cool people when you get a chance to kind of go out to these events and kind of just catch up with friends, meet new people. This is the first time I actually had a chance to kind of really talk to like Dan Pass from Nissan. Super hardworking guy for the brand. We love everything you do, Dan. We absolutely love you. We
Yeah.
got a chance to meet the new owners of Arizona Z Car. They were very cool people. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
a lot of stuff like that.
The businesses that were there were definitely very ambitious, not only just to grow the company, but again, what I've learned so much about, and specifically the Z community, because it is ZCon, right? Many of these companies, I mean, they're just enthusiasts who took a chance. They found a way, something that they were good at, that pertained to their favorite car as an enthusiast, and then they took that leap to make that happen. And here they are. They're in person. They're in front of you. They're donating product. They're selling product. It takes a lot of guts to do something like that, and you're really seeing a lot of people, this is their life's dream, their life's work. Huge props to those guys. Tons of character, great guys to be around. Yeah, I think you mentioned Arizona Z Car. We had dinner with them, I think, there at the
Yeah,
hotel.
very,
Awesome
very nice
people.
people, and they're
Yeah,
they're starting up that business. They bought it out, and they're starting it up. I mean, I love to see stuff like that. These guys from Vintage Thunder, we got to get them on one day. They were super nice guys,
them too.
super, super nerds, and I absolutely love that about them. Anytime I get a chance to kind of nerd out on some stuff, dude, I'm totally down with. But yeah. Uh,
Oh, dude. Okay, so real quick, we've been talking about moments with Zcon, moments with the podcast. This is me and you as friends, Miles. This picture right here, people don't know the context. Granted, it doesn't look good. This is this is the context of that picture. Miles was the instigator. Me and Ion were there. We're saying, we're just at West Texas, about to hit New Mexico, and we said, Miles, like, hey, I need to use the restroom. All right, Miles. Well, we're in the middle of nowhere. Sorry, there's not a gas station. What are we doing? You veer off the nearest exit, which there aren't many. There's nothing at the exits, just some, four-way stop. And you say, I'm stopping the van. we're going out. We're going to use this restroom. We're on a bridge, for God's sake. Okay, well, and you're like encouraging. You're like, come on, let's do it. That's how you were. And I'm like, okay, fine, let's do it. And then I guess I guess I had more to dispel than you did because you had enough time to take a picture of what I was doing. Ion's probably to the far right of me, by the way. I don't even know, but here I am, very, very in a vulnerable position, I guess you could say.
I'm going to just say right now, I don't recall any of that, and I feel like you're trying to paint yourself in a more positive light. But the reality of the situation is that's just childish. It's childish and disrespectful, and I expected better of you from a co-host. Me and Ion did want to talk to you about you peeing off of bridges onto oncoming traffic. It's just not acceptable. And I mean, I'm going to ask you for
uh,
2022. Please don't do that again. All
tone
right?
it down. Is that
No,
what you're saying?
no,
Tone it down a
yeah.
notch.
Nobody needs to see your worm at at 65 plus while they're just trying to enjoy a family outing. And that's really what
Many
it's about.
Can I
So,
just say that many times I wonder whether or not you are the Tyler Durden to my
mm,
Edward Norton? You know what I mean? Like the Fight Club. I'm the only one that can see you sometimes, and sometimes this
mm,
podcast is just me being a schizophrenic. That's kind of what it feels like sometimes because you get
yeah,
me to do the most ridiculous things, and then you record them. I'm like, Jesus, man,
no, no.
this is what you
You know,
do.
I will tell you right now, I can not recall a single moment that I ever did anything embarrassing to you that I can recall. I am the model of being a really good friend. So, quite honestly, on that respect, I'm going to go ahead and bow out and
Hmm.
just say a couple things again. We have a lot of fun here. We plan on having a lot of fun in 2022. In this year, I don't know if you mentioned it before, we surpassed 1,000 followers on Facebook.
We
This
did.
last year, we had a hell of a road trip, obviously, that we went to ZCon. We have a lot of things that we're planning to do for 2022, a few interviews. For those that didn't know, we tried to do a interview with Bob Sharp. He's super excited about coming on the show, and we're super excited about having him. We did run into some technical difficulties. We are working it out.
Working
We're
it out. We
trying
are.
to get it all figured out. Unfortunately, sometimes when you have these interviews, there's some technical difficulties, some education process that needs to kind of happen with some of the equipment. We're going to get it done. We're going to get Bob Sharp on for a multi interview, hopefully in the future. We want to get our friend Art Singer on, who we feel like we haven't done justice to for getting him a rock solid interview. We did an interview with him while we were on a road trip. Unfortunately, it was in a noisy bar, and I don't think it's justice to the legendary Art Singer, who's really been in production and really in the community. He's one of those people that you need to honor and that you didn't even know had so much influence in your love for the brand and some of the cars that you drive.
Very
So
true.
again, we are going to get Art Singer back in here. I'm going to force him if I have to go to his house. We're going to do a great interview with him because he's loads of knowledge. There's numerous potential interviews that we have for the upcoming year. We've been trying to get with Bob Leitzinger, the famous IMSA 240 SX driver, Malcolm Beasley, the IDX designer, who now resides in a different country. He's all over the world. I'm trying to hunt him down from time to time. I've been wanting to get with him for some time. We've been trying to get with the some of the folks from the electromotive years with Nissan.
Yep.
Brian Highcotter, who we always say we're going to interview with him, but he's just so busy, always on the road, racing with Team Forsberg and stuff right now. But
He
if I can
is.
get him with some time and he's not winning online racing championships and not doing crazy sick burnouts, we'll definitely try to break him away and see if we can get him on. We absolutely love and support everything he does.
Uh-huh.
We've got some other folks that we also want to kind of shine some light on, folks that
Many.
for like the forums. There are some forum owners. If you had a forum over the last years and you were doing whatever you could to help support the brand and support a model, we want to hear from you. TT.net, Nico, Z Driver. We're going to try to promote and talk about those years, kind of give a life expectancy and talk about that. Brian Long, who I haven't talked to in numerous years, he's done numerous Z books. We'd love to have him on. Mad Mike, we've done an interview with him. We just haven't got around to editing it because it's so long. But one of these days, maybe we'll try to get him on.
It's hard to keep him on track, but yes.
And
But
then,
it's
we'll
gold.
try-
It is gold no matter what.
And then we'll try to reach out to the legendary Steve Millen again, who I haven't talked to in a few years, but I would love to kind of talk to him. So these are some of the things that we're kind of working on for 2022. We hope that you'll
Yes.
kind of stick with us, continue to follow us, to continue to support us. We are planning some road trips for next year.
Yes.
ZCon is a maybe. We are trying to lock up for Branson for next year.
Yeah.
For those that want to kind of come out and meet us. So we'll be doing that. And then we are going to try to work on getting motivated to work on our own projects so we can start making these events.
To
Or
make
we're
'em.
just gonna buy a Nissan Cube and just feel we're all so that's
You're right.
it. But
You-
JCCCS, I'm
Yeah.
gonna drag you to JCCS one of these days.
that was the thing.
Kind of hit it up. So
Yeah, there was a lot of things. We had this conversation earlier this week, and we were trying to figure out what's the plan for 2022. And I think a theme, at least between me and you, was like, let's try some things that we haven't been to before. I mean, up until now, we haven't done Branson Z Fest, which has really come up in the last couple of years, really getting some notoriety in the numerous types of events that are happening across the country. So we definitely want to try that one. That one's happening in June 1st. It's very long, about five months away. So we've got a lot of preparation to do between then and now. Hopefully we get to document some of it, kind of share it with you guys what we're doing. I've got an engine to rebuild, so that could be kind of fun here this first half of 2022.
I wonder who's gonna help you out with that.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at him. Yeah. You got to work harder than an ugly stripper, man. That's what it says so on your shirt. It's right there.
I do. And I do. All right. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we've got some work to do and kind of some events to plan out as we move through the year. Again, it's been a hell of a year. A lot of moving parts, a lot of flexibility on our part and your part. But I really want to say thank you for everybody kind of coming on with us here tonight. Some of our frequent flyers that we always have on here, Amon, Josh, Bert, Ayon,
You guys are awesome. Yeah, you always have it, man. Keep it coming,
Mike.
man. Yeah.
I mean, all you guys, we love you, Amon, especially, who's always trying to support us. We're always trying to support him. Terry, and for those that didn't get a chance to kind of jump on with us tonight, we love you guys. We really appreciate the support, and we're continuing to try to grow and continue to follow us, and we'll try to provide you good content and good news coming down the pipeline. As always, if you have anything that we need to know about, if you got events, if you got a good life event story that we need to know about, let us know. No story's too small. We're always looking to hear about it. So, and continue to like, share, subscribe. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, NissanNerd.com, and you can contact us with any of that information that I talked about, or anything that you have that you feel is important. Talk to us. info@NissanNerd.com.
That's our email. For sure, Miles, like you said, though, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube have been our major three outlets to share a lot of this content and how you can reach to us. If you are confused or don't know how to find us, like you said, NissanNerd.com gives you a really good drop-down list that will shoot you directly to where you want to go. Again, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We've got a few other ones there as well. Info@NissanNerd.com, email that we always follow with, Miles. Aside from that, man, dude, I know we just gotten through a great Christmas. Stop looking at my junk. Yeah, I see. I know we've had a great Christmas, Miles. I'm glad that we've been able to have. I mean, we're looking at over a decade as friends here. I wish you a really good, happy New Year, you and the family, and for you online, all you guys online, have a happy New Year. We'll be checking in with you again here in mid-January for the next episode of the Nissan Nerd Podcast. Hey, Miles, I'm going to say it, man. You are the big brother I never knew I needed. Wow.
That's true. I am integral in your development as a person, a life coach, really. Yeah, I take that role very seriously. And
I think you do. I think you do.
thank you
I
for
think you do.
noticing that. And I will send you my bill, which will be coming to you this year, and it's substantial. It's substantial.
Yeah, it's substantial.
Yeah, I do financing options, but moving on. Yeah, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Bert. He's got a situation. Apparently, there's a fire out in Colorado. He's right around the fire line. So, thoughts and prayers. Yeah, Bert. We hope you stay safe.
Guys,
You
yeah,
need a
please
place
be
to
safe
stay.
out there.
You could always stay with Mike.
Hey, you're right. I've got a few extra rooms now. I've got a well, I don't.
He's
I'm
got
getting a couch.
Yeah, he's got a fireplace with this above it, and you could be part of that. And I mean, who knows? We'll make one of these for you, Bert. But again, man, I hope you stay safe, man. I hope no bad things happen in your life, especially with that situation. That's horrific. But again, thanks to everybody for kind of coming on with us, continuing to support us. We are going to come out guns blazing for 2022 and continue to try to give you what you need, what you expect from us as we move through. Thank you again for continuing to support the show, continue to support the brand, and that's everything I think I have to say. All the rambling I think I need to do. Yeah.
All right, man. Miles, for you guys online again, Happy New Year. If you are out there in the garage, make something cool. I can say, Miles, for what you have left, let's give a kanpai to everybody. If you have something with us, guys, please join us. Kanpai. Clink. Woo. That one, aren't you in a pickle right now with that background?
There's only one way to get out of this situation.
There's only one way. It ain't pretty.
Yeah, that's it. It's either these or these. So anyway, but kudos to that. But yeah, man, Mike, if I don't say it enough, Happy New Year. I love you, man. And
same here, man.
Ayon, I hope he logged off because I was about to talk trash about him. He's the worst.
He's good. I did give him some credit in the comments. I just put here, like you said, he's the hetero life mate, aka fluffer. So that's what he.
He has so many roles: luggage boy, fluffer,
luggage boy. Okay. Let's wrap up. We'll talk to you guys soon. See you guys next year. Have fun with that background, Miles. We'll have to.
We'll get it done. Hold on. I gotta give this lady $1.